この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Dungeon Meshi episode 9, and we're in hot water. I decided not to title last episode Hot Water, although that was its tentative Patreon title. If you ever pay attention to those, you'll notice that when I title things on Patreon, I always add a title to them, and then I often change that title when it actually comes the week of, because I often come up with like 2 or 3 and try to think of the best one for the situation. And the one that I came up with at first for last episode was In Hot Water. Because it just makes perfect sense. She boils the water, she pours it, and then we're in the dark place. But really, in that episode, we're not in the hot water yet. We're tipping over into it. And so I chose to title last episode after our interactions with Fallen and title it Light Source. This episode, we get to be in hot water because we have experienced our first major injury for a party member. We've seen Kabaru and folks go down, and they kind of just went down. They didn't get injured, and sometimes injured is worse. It's in the games, it's because there are weird mechanics around getting up sometimes that make like yo-yo healing more effective than like the other things, than staying completely healthy. But here it means that we need to deal, and we need a healer, and Marcille is our healer, and she's the one who's hurt. And I think that might take it out of her and make it really hard for her to do what she needs to do. So in my head, I'm kind of relying on a Deus Ex dwarf lady who's coming down the mountain. She'll be coming down the mountain when the Deus Ex dwarf lady to come and save us a little bit, but whether they'll actually be able to do anything for us, I don't know. We're in a like really tough situation where we managed to get past the terrible monster and get hurt by it. So now our safe path backtracking back out is unsafe because it's guarded by a horrifying screaming ball of water that shoots lasers at you. Um, our wizard, mage, druid character with healing has 2 holes in her that aren't supposed to be there. And one of them is in her leg. And phrasing, fuck, I tried to hold it together so hard. Oh. God, I love a good tension break. 2 holes that aren't supposed to be. And no real way to get back out or to get healed. I will overcome it. I'm not 7. I swear. I could be better than this. But I promise. We're still in sort of Dan mode, so we're gonna take that and we're gonna go into mushroom mode. This is the most recent one that I've done on camera, because this is our sort of Avatar-inspired little guy with his mushroom cap. And I have made significant inroads on the next step of this, so I would like to simply put some of it to ink. Let me pull up the other camera and stuff and get ready. Okay, I think this is, I'm not sure whether this is or this one. I think this one was the first one that I did. But the point is that we're going to be focusing on this big boy right here. We did our tall, long, and sort of stringy kind of guy, and very much my vibes, when I looked at this, my vibes were that these 2 could be humanized really easily, and that these 2 would be much more difficult. This one gave me those tall, lanky kind of vibes. This one is a dwarf. Like, there's just no bones about it. That dude's a fucking dwarf. And he's got a big belly, right? He's barrel-chested. He's got a thick, big chest, but then he's got an even thicker, big belly, right? Like that, like, plop. Right? He could put a meal on it and eat off of it. You know that that's who that is. And then the problem really is this mass up above. Like, how do we create that shape or something that reads like it so that this character, to me and to us, feels like it's still inspired by the mushroom that we're being inspired by? Our answer for the archer is to, like, introduce another object, introduce the conical hat, and it works great. It's honestly quite solid, done right. Our dwarf, it needs to be hair. And I have done some stuff. So, yesterday, I printed out like a bunch of character sheets for Shadow Dark to roll up and then write out the stats for a bunch of like first level characters, or actually 0th level characters, so that I could get an understanding of how the characters feel, and then take a bunch of those 0th level characters and then run them myself through a dungeon that I've set up myself to see how they play. That was my whole inspiration there. As part of that, I started scribbling stuff, and I just started scribbling stuff and I couldn't stop, and then I scribbled this. So I have kind of like a design sheet for our boy, and I tried a couple of things so that I don't have to try them on camera, but I can just talk through them. I think in order, I drew them this one, this one, this one, and then all the other ones like at various times. But what's just funny to me is that the one that stands out to me as the best designed of them is this guy right here. And he's actually the first that I drew. And there are elements that I want to capture from that and never lose. So let's zoom him in. You'll see that there are a couple of ideas as far as like what's going on with the hair. One idea is that it all comes up and then gets bundled and then all poofs out and sort of droops down and becomes this big like droopy thing. And I think that matches the shape okay. That's kind of what's going on over here. However, when we bring it down to that like that tighter sort of circle, it kind of feels a little bit weird. It feels a little bit wrong, and my brain has a really hard time wrapping around the like springy kind of fall apart part, especially when it's pointed directly at the camera, like the part that's pointed at you. If this character leaned his head down, it would be like a big disc of hair that would sort of flop, and I don't actually understand in my head how that would really look. The first one that I did, it's kind of like as though it's a thicky headband. Okay, so like all this hair is gathered up, and then it's through a thicky headband. It goes straight up, just like a dude going, I don't know, a volleyball player from the 70s. It all goes straight up, and then it goes straight up, and then it go whoop, and it does the same thing as the other one, just not like condensed down tight. And because it's so thick at the bottom, it's sort of like pop, and I think that gives the vibe that I want, or at least close to it. The final one, which I just had to like try to draw out because I thought it was such a fun and silly idea, because it felt so typically dwarven to my sensibilities, is what if he takes all his beards, you know, and gathers them up and puts them through this big crown thing that he's got on his head? Or maybe like a tied-on bandana, right? Like Rambo bandana. All his beard parts, and then all of that joins with the hair, and it all gets chopped off at the same length, and it all droops down to this giant palm above his head. So he's got these like loops of beard that go up into the thing, maybe one beard in the center that still goes down, bink, and then big mutton chops that come up, curl in like big Princess Leia's, and under, up, around, and out. Extremely silly. Honestly, kind of cool. I struggled so deeply to draw it that I don't think I actually want to do it, even though I think it's the most character-filled option for the thing. Okay. Down here, I've got a couple more sketch attempts at, like, figuring out the guy, and how does the hair, and how would this work, and that's just Discworld on top of somebody's head, and how does his body sort of, like, fit together, and also, like, what are feet, and how do they work? How do they work? Especially when we're in this zone where they're sort of like stubby little nubby things, how do they read as feet and not blobs? And if they are blobs, how do they read as blobs that are feet? It's hard. I kind of don't know. It's kind of like that one little curvy line that comes back around. I don't know. I think the most important line on your boy here is this belly line. There's like a little horizontal belly line right below where this curve comes in, and it cements the whole thing. It produces the entire like spatial feeling that the belly part juts out and he's like carrying it around. It's what indicates to us that if he turned, the whole belly would be like Goku hair, and it would be all facing this way, and then it would be all facing this way. You know? Foop. Foop. Okay. He's a beefy boy. I have, every time that I've drawn him, he comes with a hammer. That's just the way that it is. He's gonna have a hammer. And little stubby legs, and a big old belly, and a big old beard. And I want to sketch him out in pencil, and then go over it and try to ink it. That's my, like, try for the day. Okay. Okay. As you can see, we've got some natural light coming in. And as you can also see, I live in a very windy place. Hopefully it doesn't end up being distracting or, like, fuck with the camera focus. I feel like it's actually going to fuck with the camera focus. So, before me, just because you can't see what I'm looking at, I'm going to put this to keep as reference, and I'm going to put this to keep as reference. Just to make sure, because what I really want to make sure that I get is, like, the belly vibes. So I'm going to try to do a couple of really clean curves, and if I have to sketch over them a few times, then I'll do it that way. Nope. Oh, hell yeah. All right. This right here is our center point, probably. So his belly button would be right there, probably. Not that it, like, matters, but it might. It might be really helpful. In my mind, when I think of characters like this, they often have, like, their belly button exposed. Oh, who's the Overwatch dude with the hooky thing that's just big boy? Like that. There's a vibe there. I think it's critical that he maintains boulder shoulders. Because your boy has been swinging a hammer his entire life, yeah. His elbow down and then up to hold his hammer. I don't know, I always like, instead of, like, rounded edges for pommels and stuff, I always like doing them sort of like this. Sort of geometric. Feels pretty silly. It doesn't quite feel as, like, as robust as I want. I think maybe I'm gonna try to put this down here. Oh, that's so much better. I have no idea how to make the textures of this feel right. Like, drawing hair on its own, tough. Drawing a weird shaped thing out of hair, I actually don't know. Like, I think my best results have been with treating it as though they're bundles and then taking those down. Because, like, this is a bundle that ends here, and it would come down, and it comes down through and down to his hair, right? And this is a bundle that comes out, and it ends up being like this here. And it's blobbed toward us. It's blobbed toward us, down. So by abstracting it, I think I can get close to the sort of spatial of it. But when I want to, like, ink this or simplify it or turn this into a character design that's replicable, and, like, if I were trying to animate this ever or draw him as a character that I was going to use for other things, this doesn't work. I need, like, simple lines that tell the story and express exactly who the character is and how they, like, look, that are easily replicable in different angles and directions, and then make our mushroom boy into a mushroom boy without fucking him up, you know? Okay. Let me see. In one of these... Yeah, so... Oh. Okay, I give him... I change his mouth shape a little bit, and it totally makes him... a sweetie instead of, like, he's like, oh. Okay, I stole his mouth from Santa Claus. It's better. Oh. Okay. And then he gets these little guys. Honestly, I'm not even going to draw little boot things on them. They're just little stubs. And similarly, there's a version of our archer guy where he becomes kind of a Gumby. and is like all a blob, and I think that's the direction that we're gonna go with this, is like really distinct defining features, big hair, big beard, hammer, really simple humanish features. Arms that are blobs. Probably not even like a hand thing here, just a blob hand. Okay, let me try to ink. I'm gonna start in the same place. Oh, wait. My hand is just not smooth. I don't really want to go through and do these built-up lines, but I will. It's just where I'm at with my, like, capacity to control my hand. I have to do my draw box. I tried to blob it up, but I don't know if it worked. That is getting too bright. Okay. I have no idea. I have no idea. Like, my brain wants to, like, stipple it infinitely. It feels like the answers to this will be found in botanists' flower drawings. Because it's like a flower that comes up and all the petals droop out. That's why these feel okay. But that's not how hair actually looks. So how do I do that, but texture it right? I'm just gonna do my best. That's all I can do right now, is just do my best. And I think that means doing these little lines like this. Let me see how it goes. I'll do them into the center. Like this. Out. And then come down again. I'm just doing them where I think the ends of the hair would be pointing at that point. Yeah? And maybe it ruins the whole fucking drawing. And that's just like the game that we have to play. Because this is that, and then these also have layers that are coming like whoop, 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 whoop. And this part has layers that are going in, and away from us. Away. Let's do it again. This has layers going way. This has areas going all the way in. This reverses, goes this way. Let's do it again. It keeps getting better, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. This is not my long-term answer. It can't be, because this is too many lines, it's too much stuff, but it's the best option that I have for, like, manifesting the thing that I'm trying to draw. And maybe once I've drawn it with all this detail and all this bullshit, I'll be able to actually see it and then draw it. Like, simplify it, break it down, turn it into something reusable, repeatable. Wow. It actually looks like what I wanted it to look like. I'm so shocked. I shouldn't be. It's like, oh, you want to draw a thing that's made up of 10 billion lines? Try 200 lines, try 1,000 lines. Maybe it'll get close. Maybe the more lines you add, the better. But I'm so shocked that it actually, like, creates the thing that I wanted it to create, kind of. Okay, with that done, I'm going to introduce some colors. I'm going to stick to the same palette of, like, yellows and stuff that we used on the boy. I'm going to treat him like he's wearing a t-shirt, basically. Put the big old shirt line here. It's a very tight t-shirt. They don't make them in his thickness. Have I mentioned that I don't really know how clothes work? Okay, that just lets me color him his shirt. So, I feel like, what was the original guy? The original guy is like that, and then the other original guy, like, pretty light. Maybe we'll try for a kind of a blonde. I should erase the other lines first. Oh, that's the wrong... Oh, that's okay. Maybe we'll mix them. Beard hair isn't homogeneous, and I guess I'll do the same up here. Oh, if I put that in the center, it even improves the, like, the feeling of the thing. Cool. Back to the yellow. Okay, for the hair part, I don't want full coverage. I just want chunks of it. Oh, actually having it come out over the edges, just like the shrooms that we did with the color on the outside, produces that, like, almost scattering effect. And imbues them with color, even though it's not in them, it's outside. Okay, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Remember that belly button? I'm just gonna draw a little circle of it, and then I'm gonna paint everything else, and I think it'll appear. Just like it's like a little indent under a shirt, you know? Okay, I think that's our boy. I think that is our lad. I would not have done the blushes the way that I did. I would have done less, or used a color that I don't have. I would love to redraw this character in... This might sound weird, but, like, different skin and hair color configurations to find one that really, like, lands super well. This, like, blonde dwarf dude is cool. That's fine. It just doesn't feel quite like it's him. Like, maybe he's got a different skin tone than this. Maybe I don't have the colors for that. Honestly, I think he might do really well with, like, dark hair and skin that's this sort of chocolatey browner color. In part because, I don't know, I feel like all the dwarves I can think of are fucking white, and maybe there's room for that not to be the case. But, my thought about this whole thing, the whole thing, is that this is the most character-filled character that I've ever drawn. And something happened or changed while I was doing these. And suddenly I felt like I had crossed over a threshold or through some barrier that was previously restraining me, holding me back. I was on one side and now I'm on the other side. And on this other side, I have some capacity that I didn't to take an idea and put it onto the paper. To not just create some scribbles or some sketches or something that kind of evokes the idea that I want, but to think I want a person who has a certain feeling to him and be able to actually execute that. I don't think I've ever been able to express emotion in a character before this guy. And it feels like a huge leap. I'm not sure exactly what has come together to make that leap happen. A piece of it is this project of drawing the mushrooms over and over. A piece of it is the inventiveness. A piece of it is going and filling in the gaps in terms of real skill, which I mentioned a couple times during the thing. Like, I've been doing the draw box challenges and training my hand and training my eye and training my mind to draw. And all of that work in different directions doesn't really go anywhere, and then it coagulates into something that really goes somewhere. And it's fucking awesome to be able to create something that wasn't before, and now it kind of is. And it's simple, and it's silly, and it's small, and it has flaws, but this guy exists, and he exists in my mind now, and now he exists in all of yours. And we've sort of shared the process, at least, of creating him. And if we go further with that, if we were to give him a name and figure out some of his mannerisms, then suddenly he starts to like take shape as a real entity that didn't exist a week ago in a world that is not our world, that's fantastic, that's only exists on paper and on two dimensions, and yet is full of life that almost determines itself. Like, who is he? How did he get here? Why does he wear his damned hair like this? The character becomes alive, and there's something like, here's my take. In our world, unlike the worlds that we go and explore in these shows, in our world, magic doesn't exist. There's no ability to, like, and make something happen, at least as such. But there is the ability to go, and over the course of weeks and weeks, turn yourself into someone who can generate things. Over weeks and weeks and months and years, turn yourself into a thing that produces. And then the act that that thing can take, where nothing exists, just noise, non-information, and you structure it in physical space through ink on paper in this case, through psychological space, through ideas and blending them together, through abstractions. And from literal nothing, you manifest something. In strictly physical terms, nothing is created or destroyed. There's no new information in the system, right? All the information that I've ever taken into my eyes is kind of flown into this creature that's on the page. The person himself doesn't suddenly leap out and have physical mass and weight that he didn't have before. His only weight is the paper that he's drawn on and the bits of matter that have been transferred from these weird liquid tubes, right? That's all he is. But he lives in here. He lives when we look at him. He lives in our eyes. And the same thing, many iterations deeper, is happening in every show that we watch. And I propose to you that that is magic. I propose that it's the very essence of magic. That it is taking something that did not exist and turning it into life. It's the kind of magic that we ascribe only to God's creation magic. The ability to create things. And we all have it. We all have it. I don't know of a single human being that doesn't. Maybe there's some disorder that totally prevents your creative capacity, but I don't know about it if there is. Almost certainly every single one of you could do it. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? You have this gift, and you can do what you will with it. Who will you turn yourself into? What kind of wizard are you going to become? What kind of magical, strange workings will you create and share with the world? Mine's a weird little dwarf dude with hair sticking out. That's what I've got right now. That's nothing. That's fine. That's fine. Because months ago, it was this boxing ring inside a ring box that's so scribbly. Or the microphone that Subaru gives a speech through. Or a doorway with darkness leaking out of it. Each of these exists and it marks a point, but it's not the end point. It's the end point of that one task, and that's part of what I choose will be an endless series of points, arcing off and upward into the future. That's where we're going. And here's another point on that line. And tomorrow I'll make another one. and tomorrow I'll make another one, and tomorrow I'll make another one. So, like, the flaws in this don't matter. They're just a representation of where we're at. The success in it does, because it points toward the next point. Where's your line go? What are you working on? What's next? This time, I'm pretty proud of that drawing, but even if I wasn't, I would be proud of myself for trying. I'm going to take a quick break and blast the AC on high for a little while, just so that I'm more comfortable when we watch the episode, and then we'll get into the episode. See you in a sec. Okay, let's go. I've got Dungeon Meshi episode 9 up and ready to go. I'd like to see what happens to Marseille now. We spent a long time doing the drawing thing, but let's get right back to it. I think that the dwarf lady is going to be joining us really soon. We're going to have to find our way past the Undine. Maybe this will serve to be our catalyst to work directly with other groups and integrate more with other people in the dungeon. Or maybe it'll be something totally unexpected. Either way, I'm very excited to see what this new development in the world of Dungeon Meshi does to the story, especially because now that I look at it, the episode is 26 and a half minutes long, which might be the longest episode runtime. They're usually 24. So I wonder if we've packed this one full of goodness because we've got some real story to execute on here. I kind of hope so. Let's get into Dungeon Meshi episode 9 and find out for ourselves. I've got the episode up and ready to go. There'll be 2 versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, beep beep timer to count you down, with early access on Patreon as always. Let's beep beep timer. Do I have any left? No. That's very casual. Oh. Oh, we're just doing it that way, I guess. Oh, we're having our meat feast. Oh. Oh. Namari. Hi. That's long enough. Oh, old folks. That's a necromancer. These are bad folks. I missed them. I missed them. I completely missed them. Straightforward mercenary type. Yeah, the bloodlust, dude. That's her moral thread, isn't it? Hmm. Hmm. Food? We've got a perspective being laid out here. But somebody put the revival fee with them. Also, who's this voice actor? He's very familiar. Okay. Feels like they would get along with Senshi. Alright, well, you tell that to the Undine. Oh, shit! Oh my god! What an asshole! What a dick! Fucking gnomes! Tee-hee! Tee-hee! I've got trauma. I've got trauma. Straight through the brain! Huh? So you do have a healer. Yeah! Huh? That's an interesting principle. True. Yeah, it sounds like corrupted, live forever magic. Like, that's the first step to getting people to live forever. What if that's the point of the whole thing? Hey, how dare you? Ah, ding dong. What a ding dong. Do not trust him. It's all we got, though. Yeah. Okay. Good, strong, trusted pair. It's so funny, because Elvin is always so immaculate and perfect and smooth. Ha ha ha. Mix of superstition and racism. Yeah. A little bit. You just care about weapons. Yeah, you're just a fighter. Hmm. Speaking of handling weapons, we are being notified. There's something. But what if we could eat it, dude? Or what if you could milk it? Like you are with weapons, he is with food. Well. Otto! Roper? Roper! It's the tentacles! Now you fucking jump into actions. Oh, shit. I can't think of how we could eat it either. He's got the armor. Yeah, he's got armor. Have we ever seen Senshi without his helmet? I don't know either. I just know that Laios trusts them. Uppies. Shit. Got him. The crossbow? Oh, weapons. But you're the one he trusts. Fucking perfect shot, you know. You know it's perfect. Man, getting to add half your level to your base attack bonus does a lot. It does a lot. Is he swollen as hell? Or just paralyzed? Hmm. I bet it's a weird flavor. What if it's like Chinese red pepper? Uh-huh. If it's the only way. Nom bananticles. Whoa. Huh. Maybe you only taste it when it's been injected into you? Yeah. It's got potential. Oh, it worked. The important part. Laios putting her first. Goddamn all weapons training. Plus half your level to base attack bonus. Oh shit. It's on. I wonder if this will turn into like an ideological battle about doing things for free. We don't really have a leader. It's Laios, but we don't really have one. Since she's the mentor. Poured hot water in it? Uh. Elfuana? Oh. And they don't have a way to, like, pass that shit down and remain angry for generations and have a blood feud forever. That's cool. We could use that. Okay. Should we take it? Yeah. Wait, that's fucked up. She can't regain it down here? But she's pushing. Oh, the droopy. No. She's really frustrated. Yeah, neither of these ways work. We all need to return to the surface. Please? Hmm. Really sincere. Hmm. You'll be hurting her rep. Hmm. I think we should all return to the surface and do some shopping. But we've got a time limit. That's fucking baller. All right. Yeah, cool. Let's go. Man. What the fuck? She learned it from the thing. She's eating the sea monkeys. Or get it into a jar or a... Yeah. I feel like we could catch it in something. The shield? The pot? Yeah, I don't know. Don't mess with a man. Don't mess with a man's kitchen utensils. Oh yeah, it's so shiny. His axe does not care. It's not his weapon. Yeah, you take care of that thing, but not your fucking axe. It's perfect. Dwarf maid. Holy shit. And you fuckers made it into a pot. Well, it's the best use I have for it. That's so cool. Antani Maida! We could kill it and we could cook it. Holy shit. Let's do it. You could be. Is he gonna let her? He doesn't seem like the type who would care. Yeah, she's restless. She wants to go help. Ah, go, I guess. Go help. No, he doesn't have it. Shit. So it'll be her. It's a dwarven weapon. What a fucking track. Yeah, just like taking the furniture one step at a time. Woo! Oh my god, the heat too. The burning, it's burning their hands. But it's cooking the fucking Undine, just like popcorn. wait until pops are 2 seconds between pops. Watch it not work at all. It's just water. Zoop. Tentacles? Yes. We got broth. We got tentacles. Or are we gonna treat the tentacles like they're lotus roots? Oh god, that's so beautiful again. The like watercolor on water look is so cool. Wow, she's actually cooking it too. Oh, because the Undine is gone. My heart. I wonder if we're gonna keep that Marcel in that hole in Marcel's coat forever. But yes, she did. No complaints at all. It's just nutritioning. It's so funny in the beginning of the episode I talked about like Oh, you just gotta eat it and then you'll understand. It's actually fucking good. Spirit energy, magic pot. Maybe this guy knows some stuff. Maybe I could. Oh. He's a cook, man. He's a cook. Oh. He might not have the dwarf talents. Come on, old fuck. Hmm. 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 He's been paid up front. Hmm. Shuro! We have a name! It's a mix of Shiro and Kuro! What a good name! That's a really good name! I missed something, fuck. I missed something important there about Shuro. I'll find it. A potent connection across dungeon parties. Endo? Endo! Okay, that was great. I guess we should... I hope we learn about that sequence with Chilchuk. I also hope that we get to spend time above ground, like in the town and stuff. Because it just seems really cool. That's a fun one. That's a fun one. So many things that I totally didn't expect, and so many fun little, like, sprinkled bits of information and, like, learning about characters. A lot of them happen because of our collision with Nami, and we get to find out. Well, I'll put it this way. People are different in different contexts, and one of those contexts is who you're interacting with. So when people are in one state and they're interacting with one particular group, they're one person, and you can introduce another person into that group, and it totally changes all of, not just the dynamic, but all of the ways that the individuals act. And Namari is like that for mostly Marcille, because she's the one whose attitude and, like, her nature changes. She's in conflict with her, almost as though it's like an ongoing thing that they slip back into, with a sense of almost inevitability. Maybe it has to do with, like, the racial biases. There are, I think, 3 times when, like, racism comes up in this episode, where it's like, elves, what are you gonna do? And everybody sort of nods along with that. Or the tall man, typical of a tall man. And it actually seems to be something that's very Namari, like very much a part of the way that she sees the world is defined by these, like, racial boundaries, and we haven't been exposed as much to that, although it clearly exists in the world. It hasn't been as front and center. Um, to give an illustrative example that I think is the universal one, you're hanging out with a group of your friends, you're one person. Your parent walks in the room, you're a different person, right? But also if it's a group of your friends, then your crush walks into the room, or that dude that you don't like very much and you've kind of been at each other's throats a little bit, he's part of the group now. It's a totally different interaction and the person acts different. So that's what it feels like in this episode, is that we've created sort of a status quo and then we interrupt that status quo. We drop a rock into the water and we watch the ripples. And the rock is Namari and the ripples go multiple weird directions. They go in conflict and they create conflict, but they also create like recognition of more parts of ourselves and the ability to see each other, maybe because we've had some distance and separation between us, to see each other across those boundaries in different ways and sort of tie it together. And then there are the gnomes. And you've got like such deep, personal, very human, odd because they're demi-humans, characterization of people in the dungeon and how they interact with each other, moral compasses, and the ways that individuals work. It's really interesting to run into characters that have their own goals and motivations here that are in no way heroic, that have no interest, no personal vested interest in going and helping other people, who are purely transactional when it comes to stepping outside of themselves and are only interested in what they're interested in. It's a dramatic difference, and it serves to sort of make it obvious, make it clear to us that we're the odd ones, actually. Partly because the norms about this are infused into everyone. So, like, Chilchuck is known as a person who doesn't take jobs without pay, but he's bound to the preemptive pay that he took, and so he's doing this job. He's in it, right? All the dwarves, all of Senshi's previous party who made fun of him for not being able to oars, they're a part of it. They're not interested in the actual skills that he brings to the table. They're interested in somebody who fits their team, right? Somebody to do their role, do the role that they pay him for, basically, right? It's like, you're an employee. You're not part of some massive ecosystem that you're contributing to. I don't give a fuck about that. Can you kill this dragon for me? Can you carry our shit? Can you withstand a hit? Like, what are you good for in the specific explicit adventuring party terms? But our party isn't like that. Not completely. We've found ways that we actually respect each other as people and stuff. So our party around Laios is demonstrably different, and I think it's different from the very outset. Despite Chilchuck, right, maybe being the odd one out here, everyone else in the party is journeying down to rescue Fallen because they care about her. It's not a mission for personal profit. It is self-interested in the way that an altruistic, like, trying to help somebody is self-interested inevitably, but, like, at core, they're not delving for personal gain. That's what they were doing last time. They're delving to solve a mistake, to save a friend, to fix something that was done wrong. And that's different. It's a very different motivation. I think it's cool that we get this distinction here in the episode. Okay, I want to go back. I missed something about Shuro, and I want to know what I missed. Oh, he was so in love with Fallen that he wanted to propose to her. Oh, so he's probably still desperately searching for her. What? I had no clue. Total, yeah, that's the tism, my guy. Oh, that tracks. Okay, well, we're probably going to run into him, because if we're both searching for the same person. Let's go through the episode in order now and see how we got here, because we opened really fast and it kind of took me by whirlwind. It kind of took me by storm, and then suddenly we're in it and we're with Namari, and we're doing the tentacles and stuff is happening. Like, a bunch of things happen in the episode, and I'm not sure how to place them into a flow in my mind completely. Part of it is that we're expected to be coming right off the last episode straight into this one. We're eating the food, and then we're eating the food, and here we are. There's no time gap there. It's Laios. Well, hi everybody. These are my totally cool scholars. They're chill as fuck. Ignore the weird skulls around one of their necks and the fact that they don't look at or address you, but are more interested in their guidebooks and stuff. Yeah, they don't look at you at all. And these are the twins, Kaka and Kiki. Good for them. Cool. They seem to be humans, or tall man. And okay, so it starts from right away. We establish that there's tension between them, and there's a new dynamic placed inside the group. How can you just act this way after abandoning Fallen? It's like, you call it abandoning. I call it not doing jobs I'm not getting paid for. I haven't been paid for that job. I was paid to go fight the Red Dragon. I did. We failed. That's the way that it goes. I'm not going to go clean up your mess. I'm a contractor. And that's exactly right. But it's an ideological shift and difference, right? Employer, friend, party member, person that I work with. Very different. I think that's really the thing that we accomplished changing over the course of the episode. Because Namari at the end asks her weird gnome companions, basically, can I be a member of your actual party? Right? Can I actually be a part of this and not just somebody that you pay? The material difference is minimal, but the attitude difference is everything. It's everything. It's the difference between a thing that I can consume for my own benefit and a thing that's a part of an ecosystem that I'm a part of, and by consuming, I engage with it, right? Like, to give you a gift, to accept a gift of effort or a meal or work or something from you to you, is to engage with you and to be in an interaction with you. And what we're building isn't the individuals, it's the interactive element. It's the Undine. Okay, that's silly, right? But like, the Undine is almost cellular. It's made up of all these little spirits, and it's only in their fusion that they have any power. Individually, we have some power, but together as a unit, we're something else. We're like a powerful spirit. And it's the feeding each other, very literally in some ways, that enables us to glue that together and turn it into the power entity. So it's like, you get to roll a d6 on your own, because that's what you get to do, and that's powerful, neat. I get to roll a d6 on my own, and that's what I get to do, and that's powerful, neat. But together, we don't roll 2 d6s or a d12. We roll 3 d6s, because we're together. So when I give you mine and you give me yours, and we share and we're building the bonds between us, what we're building is the ability to face a threat and roll all the dice that we have together. We're building another entity. And so it's the idea shift. Like, yeah, we're a group of people fighting together. We're a party. We're a team. We're a family. It's different. It's different. We see it in their group. It's like there are bonds between them where they care, and he doesn't ask for recompense to go and heal somebody because they're a part of his party. He cares about them. So we use that more than anything, not to include, but to exclude people, to create boundaries and walls and say, the people outside of this aren't worth my effort because I don't get something back from it. The people outside of my little bubble aren't worth it. I don't give to them. If I can take from them, I will. It benefits me, but I don't give to them. That's a really, like, a dark way of living, I think. It's justifiable. I simply refuse to walk into the jaws of death for free. Yeah, but your friend. It's not how I see it. But then we hit a line. She pushes herself, and Namari's like, whoa, okay, look, don't. I feel bad. Like, I don't want you to hurt yourself. Fallen wouldn't want that either. I care about Fallen and stuff. I'm just looking out for number one. Like, this is just a weighing of things. It's just straightforward. It's just a weighing of things, guys. I have to look out for number one. It's my self-interest. And again, that's like super eminently reasonable. And it doesn't help anybody. It's totally justifiable and right, but it doesn't improve anybody's lot. My friend needs treatment. What do we get in return? I mean, kelpie meat? Nope. Let's go. Handing out charity just sets you up to be taken advantage of. We get these side eyes from the twins. This is really materially, literally important. That's why I'm hovering on it. Because I don't really care whether the show executes on this premise perfectly or whether there's like a cohesive thought that comes after this. The fact that it introduces this is really powerful because I think that this attitude embodied by this character is spreading. That's the word for it, spreading. We're in a world that is experiencing new pressure, and under pressure, people take stances that protect them and protect the things that they care about, and that serve as justifications and ways of thinking to move forward. And one of those stances is the isolationist stance, the independent, you are responsible for yourself stance, and the sort of necessary conclusion, which is that everyone else is kind of an enemy. You don't have to go to war with them, but you can't give even a little bit to them. You give a millimeter to them and they'll take it and you will have lost. It's a zero-sum game and we're all playing against everybody else. How many resources are there? Not enough. You gotta take yours. Don't give out any, otherwise you'll go hungry. If you have the option to give $1 to a homeless man, you shouldn't. You should put that dollar in the fucking bank. Because if you don't, you're not going to be making the percents off of it that are going to offset the horrifying inflation that's coming. And you're going to be losing money. Like, yeah, the homeless guy's going to die, but who fucking cares? He's not part of your bubble. Your bubble matters. You handing out that charity just means getting it taken advantage of. I've been taken advantage of in charity terms a few times. I've never really regretted it. I have made choices a couple of times to give money to people who could have been legitimate and could have been scamming me, and I will choose to give the money to somebody because it seems like it's the right thing to do. Maybe this guy's right and I'm a super fool for that, but I haven't starved because of it. I haven't lost my home and my ability to feed myself and stuff because of it. I haven't been taken advantage of. And even if I have, it hasn't disadvantaged me significantly. There are lines, there are limits to the amount that you should sacrifice of yourself. We touch on this and talk about it a lot in a manga reading called Fire Punch that you might want to go and look at. If you're literally cutting off body parts to feed people, that might be a little bit much. But this attitude, handing out charity in a dungeon, just sets you up to be taken advantage of. Yeah, but living along this attitude sets you up to be alone. And when you're alone and something bad happens and you don't have anybody to turn to because everybody else returns this attitude to you, you know that you've made your own bed and now you have to lay in it. There will be nobody to blame but yourself. Because this is the way of the world. We exist in a world of striving for better, and that includes interpersonally. It includes giving a little. Not because you think you're going to get a little, but because that's how we fuel the whole fucking machine. It brings us back to that, like, you have the choice to push the lever, right? You walk through this hallway 100 times a day, and there's a little lever, and it takes you a little bit of effort to just push it, right? You push the lever. And if you don't push the lever, nothing happens. And if you do push the lever, a little bit of energy goes somewhere good. Just a teeny bit of energy goes somewhere good. You don't get to see it. You don't get to know where it's going until the day when it happens to you. Maybe you don't get to know, but it is doing that. It's pushing something that's attached to a machine you can't comprehend. I think it's worth pushing the lever. But to logic that out, to argue that against a true utilitarian materialist is near impossible. Because they will just say that it's never coming back around. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. You can't make material those invisible externalities. At least I don't know how to. If I did, I think we would be able to convince a whole sector of people whose brains operate in a very like functional, material, strategic, straightforward way, and who can't justify goodness the same way that other people can necessarily, or badness even, right? Like, who need things to be structured that way. Those people could be convinced to push the lever too, if only we had a way to show that pushing the lever really makes an impact. The corpse that they stumbled on, we left the money with them, right? That was our decision. I don't recall it completely, but I'm remembering in my mind, we stumbled across a corpse and we left money with them in order to make sure that they could be revived, right? And the attitude here is like, you were responsible for yourself even after your death. Nobody else is gonna carry your body, man. Nobody's gonna bury you. And that is the world we live in. It's worse. Your children are responsible for the fee for your death, and the fees for death are high. Like even totally no urn cremation is really expensive. It's kind of shocking. And it's like the last thing that somebody who's mourning needs to get hit with is, anyway, that's another subject. But it's, you know what? No, it's not. It's the same damn subject. It's the same damn subject. Here in the dungeon, people are expected to carry money on them so that after their deaths they are taken care of. And in our real world, people are expected to save money to take care of their bodies after death because we don't have a way of dealing with our corpses. We make that a profit first institution. Even the lowest cost, like, done by the morgue cremation is for profit, and it is a bill that somebody has to pick up. And that's fucked. That's fucked. That's a thing that we could really easily fix. No worries. Don't underestimate the gnomes. We know spirits. Oh, spirit, please! And when his shit doesn't work, he's so willing to sacrifice somebody. He's paying her, so he thinks it's his goddamn privilege. That's another piece of it. When your interactions are purely transactional, that means that you own the other thing. It's like expected. I think that weight of expectation in the transaction of labor and effort and care and stuff totally, like draining the color from something, it pulls all of the love from it, all of the care from it. I think that's why corporations and businesses try so hard to reinfuse like care and community back in, because they know that under the transaction system, there's none, right? It's why there's so much fully false-faced lying on both sides of employment. Is like, yes, I love working here. Well, we love having you as an employee. It's like, no, we love exploiting your labor. Oh, I love being able to eat. I hate coming here and doing drudge work for you for 8 hours a day. You hate that you have to give me money so that you can exploit my labor. You'd love to enslave me. We both hate this fucking interaction, but we're gonna lie about it. We're gonna pretend that we're best friends. This is why I'm probably not employable. It didn't work, and we fucking paid the price for it. But it doesn't matter. He can just bring her back. There's something lost in his, like, man, I don't know. He can just bring her back, whatever. It's something that I hope that we investigate a little further. There's the inkling that we are definitely going to do that, which is in Senshi and Laios' conversation about this, where Senshi goes, it's not fucking normal, dude. I promise. This isn't normal. I hope that we investigate what it means to have control over life and death. We'll get to the dungeon attaching souls and stuff, but just this is the first character that we've met who's capable of resurrection magic. We know that Fallen is at some point, right? But we've never met her really while she was capable of that. This is the first character that we've met. He's really off-putting. His attitude toward life and death is not very human. I know he's not a human, but not very, like, living thing of him. It's quite weird. Very scientific, very hands-off, very weird. Maybe a little bit twisted. It's a gorgeous cut. It's a gorgeous cut. It's understated. The blood flows up and spirals back into it. It's gorgeous. Oh, it's gorgeous. Really cool. I can't bring myself to like it. Especially can't. You're against resurrection? It's not a pleasant sight to witness. His justifications aren't quite, like, logical, right? And that's fine, because Senshi doesn't always operate on a super logical layer. Senshi very often operates on a vibe. He's like, that's bad. I can't tell you why, but that's bad. This is bad. It's unnatural. Outside, yeah, but here it's fine. No, Laios, Janai. And even our gnome agrees. A very powerful enchantment. Your soul is bound to your body. No matter how damaged your body gets, your soul is never released. Okay. Wow, this is fun. I'm gonna spoil a Brandon Sanderson book for you. So if you've never read The Hope of Elantris by Brandon Sanderson, or Elantris by Brandon Sanderson, maybe skip this portion. If you don't really care, then you don't have to care. I like Sanderson's writing. It's a mixed bag, right? It's kind of it's highly accessible. That's what we'll say about it. People who are up their own asses about literature are not going to love Sanderson's writing. I've ingested and consumed all of his stuff, and I find it quite fun. I find the worlds that he builds pretty interesting, but my favorite thing that he does is fucking cool magic systems and cool, like, interesting twists on magic. In Elantris is a fallen, formerly glorious city. Really great city. It was dope. It was like shining pillars of marble and awesomeness. And the Elantrians were these, like, tall, incredibly beautiful, everlasting, extremely healthy people. They're people. And there was some magic of Elantris, like rune magic. They would draw runes, and you could just draw runes in the air and make magic happen. And that was what was used to make all the people alive and live forever, and make all the water clear and beautiful, and all the streets oh so sparkly. All the fruit trees grew perfectly. Disease was not, like, people all across the world would bring their kids to Elantris to be healed, and the Elantrians were not shy with their gifts. They would give them out freely, and so it became a central hub of all sorts of great things. And then it fell, and nobody knew why, and all the Elantrians inside started to rot, and everything, all of the shining streets started to become covered in a horrifying slimy mold, like a goo. And all the things that had enchantments to keep them lasting forever started to fall apart, like, way too fast. And all the people in Elantris started to hurt. They stopped glowing. They stopped being tall and beautiful and returned to just being people. And then they started to accumulate damage. A paper cut never heals. It doesn't keep bleeding. You can't die. Just sits there. It doesn't get infected either. It doesn't get worse. It just stays. It just remains. You stub your toe. In normalcy, you stub your toe and it's a pain response, and then it goes away. There's no actual real damage, and so it goes away. The little bits of damage to the nerve endings never go away. The stub never stops. That pain, that endless pain of, oh, you just stubbed your toe and you're hopping on one foot, that's forever now. Oh, let's say you get cut in half with a sword. Both halves live on, and in all of that pain, all forever. So most of the people last a couple of months, and then they succumb to being a huddled, gibbering mess, racked and wrought by their own pain. And new people are born with the curse. just as they were in ages past, people would be born, and then they would begin to glow. They would be taken and called to Elantris, and then they would go to Elantris, and they would live the rest of their lives there. Forever. Being dope and doing cool magic stuff, right? So what happened? Well, something about... I actually don't even have to really spoil it, because this is all, like, first chapter shit that I've given you, which is kind of cool. Something about... This is the spoiler portion. Something about the thing that generates the magic field that enables all the Elantris stuff changed. It was rune magic. One little line changed. That's it. It's the whole fucking thing. And the whole city was cursed because of it. So I wonder, to bring it right on back, what we had in Elantris was a system established to do good, to create good things, to help people live forever, and to enable them to do magic. What if the goal of binding people to their souls permanently is to create a place where people can live forever, right? Like, what if the overarching goal of this whole Citadel thing was utopian? What if it was goodness, right? A place where all the monsters can interact and create a beautiful ecosystem in magical harmony, and nobody has to die or suffer. But instead, it's become a place that you're trapped, a sinkhole that pulls you in and never lets you go. I don't know. I like the connection. I like the idea in Elantris, and I like this idea, whatever it ends up actually being, because it's really fucking cool. The dead are not coming back to life. They never get dead in the first place. Because you're not truly dead. You're just mostly dead. Not until the soul escapes. And he says, it is a truly dreadful curse. While basically smiling. But I studied that shit. Let's go do it. So, we give the opportunity for a transaction, and we have no choice but to take it. If you help me, I will heal your companion. He could just heal the companion and then ask them for help, right? And wouldn't more good be generated by that? There would be no resentment around the transaction. Now he would have no guarantee that they would help him. But it's really interesting. It's like, that's a foregone conclusion. We can't do that, because if I gave you something without knowing that I would get something back in return, I'd be setting myself up to be stolen from. You'd be stealing from me. Stealing what, dude? Stealing what? Effort? Magic? Okay, fair. Maybe it's a limited resource that he can't cast the spell that often. He doesn't seem to be. He sure treats it with flippancy. No. The desire to transact is stronger. The desire to get something in return. So, deal. Elfu. Oh, it's not the same degree as the shaving dude, but terrible penmanship from an elf on ancient stones is so silly. Like, I've never seen anything like that. Incredibly funny joke. Exactly the opposite of what I would expect. I really like it. You have to get one crafted by a dwarf. Don't use the same scabbard. I love that she cares about weapons. It's character building here, yeah? And it's actually something that's very similar between her and Laios and Senshi. They all have their sort of special interests. And honestly, Chilchuk with traps and stuff, and his thieves' tools and things, and Marcel with magic, they've all got their thing. Oh, Laios knowing about other people's things enables him to use them as a team. That's what he does with the situation here. He knows and he trusts her. And then he leaps without knowing that without like asking, without like, hey, if I leap, are you going to catch me? I want to make sure. It's not like that. He just trusts. He just trusts them. I love the axe thing. I didn't understand it here. It fits here. I like it here too. But I didn't understand it. I love the axe thing because it's perfect for her to call this out. But we later realize that it's because Senshi doesn't actually care about his weapons. They're not his weapons. His tools of his trade are the pots. And they really are. They're like crazy heirlooms and stuff. Probably think I'm being annoying. Well, honestly, I trust you, dude. Kill it! Don't fuck around. Don't find out what it is. Don't bother. Just kill it. Oh, well. You're an idiot. Just kill it. Defeat it. I'll pay you, I guess. I love that it's got cool tentacle things. Like jellyfish. Fucking crazy and weird and horrifying. It's you and Senshi that I'm gonna count on. Hell yeah. Uppies. Incredible. This is honestly seriously heroic, isn't it? He puts himself in serious danger with the trust on like a 1 in 20 shot. 1 in 20. A difficult shot. It works. Eat banana. Eat the banana. I do wonder why it is that they seem to be able to taste the different flavors of it and the others don't. It just tastes like vinegar and sour to them. I was thinking that maybe it's because they've been injected with the poison and maybe it like changes your taste buds forever. But I don't know. The tension does not get fixed by this. Oh, you're so welcome. I love the science of it. Just gotta kill the little mini Undines. I love that Marcille is the one who comes up with her way forward. I love this tension here. It's just sensible. And I love that she's so desperate to like stay that she comes up with a better way, a way around it. It even gets Marcille, like the first thing that she does is she begs Namari, a person that she clearly doesn't like, but does respect. But that has ripple effects on the community. A different layer to the whole thing, yeah? And a layer that operates seemingly entirely without that love glue stuff, without the care. Just let it be. Just go up. She comes up with something crazy instead. I love it. It's a very Laios idea. I think it's us impacting her. And it's directly learned from the stuff that she did with spirits when she was young. It's a perfect idea. I love that we don't have a clear way to do it, and it seems impossible. I love that it turns out to be the pot, and that in turn shows Namari that the pots are so fucking cool. And she learns to like respect Senshi in the course of it and kind of respect everybody in turn. The whole situation is contrived, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but it's put together in such a way that it reveals so many dimensions of all of our characters. It's like a lens or a gemstone through which we're seeing all these different perspectives and angles. A kaleidoscope of an episode. Down through to realizing that Senshi's pot shield is exceptional indeed. Adamant. The classic magical metal, adamantium, right? And fucking Captain America's got a shield made of the same stuff for the most part. Of course it could withstand. But Laios couldn't. She knows she's needed. He clocks it. And he lets her go. I like her. I like characters like this who... Oh, you know Snake from... Snake from Vinland Saga? Characters who've got, like, really clear anti-moral stances and then find themselves compelled to act in, like, pro-social ways. Right? So, like, Snake has a very strong anti-moral stance. He's like, I am a sword. I am wielded. I don't make choices. I just do what I'm paid for. I'm here. And I'm here. And I'm going to commit to that. And I'm just going to be here. And he does that to a dramatic extent. But then when we come up against the nitty-gritty of the tough decisions about people, he has feelings, he's got emotions, and they come in conflict with that rigid self that he's structured. Namari has like a pretty rigid self, right? It's like, I'm a contractor, I do what I'm paid for, that's it. I don't overstep, that's it. That's who I am, especially not to help somebody, a whiny elf like Marcille, right? Like whatever her set is, it's pretty rigid. And then we get into the actual circumstance and she realizes that she'd be better for a task. And she's like, she can't sit still. She's like eating at herself because this set of beliefs that she holds so strongly aren't actually exactly what she believes. And it's in that distance between who she is and who she thinks she is, yeah, that character growth happens naturally. It happens almost, it has to. Boom, and she's there to save the day. We set up Senshi, Namari, ready. They do a fucking strongman act. Boom. I love it. Ping, 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 ping on the inside. Bam. I love the strain of burning hands against the pot, just trying to hold it all together. Because holy shit, can you imagine if they had to let go too soon? And they let go and now it's a steaming, enraged Undine in the middle of the room and there's nowhere to escape to? Fuck. At least it would be far away from the water. But fuck. We make goop. We make food. And when I say we, I mean Marcel makes food. I love this. I love these. Every time I see them, I love them. They're so cool. I've said before that there are a couple places where you can sort of fall in love with Marcel, but like, if this doesn't do it for you... You might not have a heart. Oh my gosh, so cute. And it's working too. Her first thought is that they've been scavenging because they're failing, right? They suck. But maybe there's something more going on here, she realizes. So I want to bring something up about apologies here. Because of the words that we use around them. An apology is something that we give to someone else. Yeah? As though it's a gift to them. But in the context of what we were talking about earlier, like a thing that's a gift to you, that I give to you, that we transact. Apologies don't work that way. You can't like transact an apology. And I think that our language around them, that apologies are a thing that you give, is inaccurate. Apologies are a thing that you do internally and then say externally to like transmit. But it happens inside. Is like a change of mind, a recognition of mistake, a seeing of your own actions from a different angle. Where it does line up is that there's a choice to engage in the space of apologizing, and it creates positivity where there was negativity. It creates something good. It's maybe the most refined form of the pure kind of bond making parts that can't be made material or given weight, really, is to apologize. Because what it says is that, in many ways, to me, is that the connection between us is more important than my being right about this thing. Right? Because you can apologize even if you don't think that you're wrong about it. You can apologize for how you carried yourself or how you spoke, even if you don't think that your mind has changed about the thing, right? She could still think the exact same thing about the damned axe, and she could still apologize for saying it. The choice to apologize is very much like the choice to give without accepting anything in return, or without expecting anything in return. It's not the same, but it's very much like it. And in a different context, it's a different kind of glue. It's the re-glue, you know? When rupture has happened, it's the glue that you glue things back together. The doing nice things is maybe the glue that you do preemptively that sort of brings things together and starts to create a bond and produces that new entity. But when that entity breaks because of rupture, it's apologies that glue it back together. And it's the choice to step outside of yourself and do that thing, to go out on that limb, kind of, that I think really matters. We find out something really interesting about Senshi, which maybe we knew before, but I didn't really connect it. Don't care about that stuff, the dwarf things. Can't distinguish the ores. My old friends used to get frustrated with me. Your non-autism informed friends. You can stay here. And she jumps up and asks them to join. Which reads to me now as like an inexperienced, unskilled person's attempt to do that, stepping outside of yourself, doing nice things for other people in the hopes that it creates the bond that you want. Because she's converted, right? She's changed. That person that we talked about at the beginning that's like, only doing things for other people, doing other things for other people is only setting yourself up for failure. And the person that she was like, I don't do things unless I get paid. This is the person who breaks through that, is like, try a bite maybe. And it's like a silly thing that doesn't really match, but it's a first attempt. But I want to be more than just a hired hand. I want to be one of you. And with the way they look at each other, there's the implication that they at least seriously consider it. Whatever happens there, Namari is on a different path, right? She was on a path of being maybe the best in the business, but a businesswoman, right? She is a contractor. She goes on these adventures with people who pay her. She doesn't care. And now she wants to be a part of something, a team, a group. Not the one that I expected. I expected it to be our group, but still, what a different direction. In your life, are you navigating it as part of a team? Are you seeking a team to try to navigate it as part of? Or like operating as though you are ready to find that team, if that makes sense? Like, yeah, I'm an individual right now, but I've got this set of skills and I'm ready to plug those into whatever party I find and be a human interactive part of it and get to know those people and be a part of things. Or are you self-isolating in your choices as you continue pursuing whatever it is you're pursuing individually at the expense of everything else? Because if it's the latter, I think I need to implore you to try to learn from Namari's example and the examples of Laios and Senshi and Marcel and Chilchuk, because you might be able to get a lot further into what you're trying to accomplish if you're able to have a team. And it might be on you. Like, it might be your responsibility. This is sort of crazy. It might be on you to do the things that make that team happen. There might be a lot of other people around you who are operating in that same context of individuals, or who are operating in that context of like, man, I wish I had a team. And it might just be up to you to be the person who reaches out and does something that sacrifices like $1 worth of your time and energy to plug that into a machine that could be something amazing, to a bond that could be lifelong, to a friendship that doesn't exist yet. It might be up to you. People say like strangers are just friends you haven't met yet. Well, go meet them, right? Go be a friend to them, right? It might be on you. As I look at my own life, it's always been on me. At least that's the feeling that I have. And whatever unfairness you might feel toward that is like, why doesn't anybody else show up in my life and be like Nijika and Bochi the Rock and show up and grab me by the hand and rush me off into the limelight and like, wow, friendship and glory and love and stuff. How great. Maybe don't count on that. Maybe be that person instead. That's good stuff. So we end here. We leave off a really interesting line. Folks who claim they don't need anything in return are the least trustworthy in the world. And while I wholeheartedly believe everything else that I've said in this episode, I gotta say, there's a piece of Chilchuk that I know, of what Chilchuk says here, that I know is true. because there's an attitude toward doing nice things to people that's deeply manipulative, that's not doing them without expectation, but is doing them entirely with expectation, that's doing them transactionally unspoken. And the best videos I've seen on this have come from a lady named Heidi Preeb, who makes videos on YouTube. And the way that it works is you go and you do nice things for people. Let's say you clean up their dishes. I love coming back to cleaning up dishes with roommates as an example, because it's one that, like, I've lived with roommates for a long time, and I've had many different roommates who've had very different ways of dealing with dishes in the sink, and whether they put them there or whether they clean their dishes or all of those things. And the types of, like, the little bubbling microcosm of resentment and sheer fucking hatred and fineness and the whole spectrum of emotions that happens around dishes in the sink is crazy. But there's a type of person who goes and does all the dishes in the sink. Everybody in the houses, right? And they do that every time. And they do that with the expectation that everybody else will do all the dishes too, right? Or that everybody else will do their part and then some and will contribute actively to the household. So then they'll get really resentful when somebody else is just pulling their own weight, right? Is just doing their own thing. There's an Avatar: The Last Airbender episode about this, where Toph, like, sets up her own rock tent and goes, "Peace, y'all, I'm going to bed." And Katara gets so angry. She's like, "We all do things for each other. We're a team, man." And then she starts doing manipulative things. She goes and does something nice for her. She's like, "Here, I made you breakfast. Don't you want to help out with everything else?" It's like, "Oh, you didn't make me breakfast. You made me a trap. You made me a trap, right? You made me a trap. You put a nice thing inside a box with a cage around it with a door that drops, and you waited for me to come in and be like, 'Oh, yeah, cool. Thanks for the breakfast. That's very nice of you. I accept this without any oh, I'm trapped in a cage. You actually expect something in return for this. You're, like, looking at me after I eat this breakfast that you offered me, and you're going, 'So what are you gonna do in return, bro?' And I'm like, I didn't, if I had known that there was an in return, I would have said no to the breakfast." So, on the one hand, if you're trying to create glue and friendships, doing nice things for others with no expectation of return, that's a fucking great way to do it. The return that you're likely to get is, like, good interactions with that person, and that's fucking cool. If you're doing them with the explicit or implicit expectation that they're going to do nice things for you in return, like, or better yet, like, I'm gonna do nice things for you and then you'll like me. Because that's unspoken in the other one, and I want to make sure that that's not there, right? Like, if that's there, it's not the same thing anymore. The difference is in the claiming to be doing it with no motive and the actually doing it with no motive. Because you can go and find somebody around you in desperate need and do something helpful for them and walk away without them ever knowing your name or even seeing your face, right? You can't. You can totally do that. Go find an inner city, start walking, put a few dollars in your pocket, start walking. You see a guy with a cup, put $1 in the cup, walk away. The best you're going to get is a God bless, right? You're not going to get anything. You can totally do that. And you can also buy dinner for all your friends and then get pissed at them when they don't buy dinner for you a week later. And that's not the same fucking thing. The second type of person is, like Chilchuck says, the least trustworthy in the world. Because they don't even know what they're doing. And they'll get wrapped up in the end of it being like, "I was so nice to you, and you spited me." They can't even trust themselves because they think that their internal motivations are something that they're not. They've covered up their need for connection and their need to be recognized and need to be loved and need to be seen as good and all those things. They've covered up those things with layers and layers of altruistic colored gold paint. It's thin. It's thin. Underneath is still the needy, needy, needy. And every line that they cast out is a fishing line with a hook in the bait. So I like that we put this little bit here at the end from Chilchuck, because I think he's right. But also, it demonstrates a deeply different attitude that he has, and that maybe a thief or a rogue might have toward things like this. Talk a little bit about Shuro. He's in love with Fallen, we learn. Please make it back safe. Yeah. Reglued a little bit. Rupture is sealed. So on we go. With a little bit of help from our friends. We survive. That's good. That's good. I'll check Sakugaburu. There wasn't anything that super stood out to me, but I'd like to know. Okay, it's just a few, so we'll look at them. Strangle Tangles, drop the guy, Senshi jumping. Yep. Oh, maybe not Senshi jumping. Cool water, pew! And then this cool frame where bam, 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 bam. This is Yoneda. Oh, and the tentacles. Whoop. Oh, it burbles. It borbles, and it shoots. And it burbles more. Iwafuchi. I really liked the sort of slow-mo here, and then we cut into his face really close. I think that the cutting into his face, I can't explain it exactly, but in my mind, that cements for me that it's like, ooh, what a bad guy. It's character building somehow. It's like the event is bad enough, and then when we cut to his face, there's something about the grimace on him that isn't just like, oh, this dude's just surviving. It's like, wow, what an asshole. That's the read that I get from it. Anyway, dope spiral thing too, and running. Okay. Running. Crunch. This is really cool, and I'm glad that we get to frame by frame this. The warped reflection on the bubble. Dope. Okay, just a little handful of cuts for the episode. Not a Sakuga heavy sode. Really an interpersonal interactions heavy sode. And I liked it a lot. There was so much here. This is the longest video that I think I've recorded for Dungeon Meshi, and that's totally fine. Thanks so much for watching it with me. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you will help me name my dwarf boy, if you've got any ideas. And I hope that you will let me know if I misinterpreted anything from your perspective or got anything incorrect, and how you feel about the sort of like broad scale ideas that we're generating over the course of Dungeon Meshi. And if you've got anything to contribute to those or different perspectives on them, I'd be more than happy to hear those. Thanks so much for watching. You can get early access on the Patreon, linked in the description down there. Otherwise, I'll see you next week for more Dungeon Meshi. Much love. Peace.